Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and we are standing in Hamburg in a 65 square meter apartment that is incredibly eclectic and vibrant, designed by an interior designer. Come in. If you haven't yet, go and subscribe right now. So this is the hallway, and as soon as you enter this apartment, you can see that this is just a masterpiece of design and that every single detail in this apartment has been thoughtfully curated to just create this entire story of a personal apartment. When Michael first rented this apartment, he didn't shy away from really fully making the space his own and really owning the space.
I'm Michael. I'm an interior designer. I'm living in St. Pauli with my two cats, and I love color, I love typography.
What I really love about the space and what I really love about the hallway is the fact that we just have a constant pairing of the history of the building paired with really fun, modern and vibrant elements. For example, here in the hallway, the entire upper part of the walls as well as the ceilings have just been painted and basically turned into your own wallpaper, and you just have all of these beautiful lines and swirls, and it just creates this very bold postmodern design that I really love. And you can see that a simple space such as a hallway has been fully made your own. So over here is the kitchen, and you can see that it is just a vintage dream. The kitchen is framed by historic tiles that also come from the 19th century when this building was built, and you just have these beautiful white tiles with the blue accents, and they just throw you back into a whole nother world and just create this very nostalgic and charming atmosphere. You just have these beautiful blue tiles paired with the pastel petrol green kitchen, and it just creates this very moody and relaxed atmosphere where you can wind down after a long day. Whenever you want to create a very warm atmosphere, it's always a good idea to use a lot of wood that really create a very natural and inviting atmosphere. Another perk whenever you get to design your own kitchen is that you really get to fully customize it, and this is where magic lies, because for example, when you're standing here, you have your stove, and to your right and your left, you have two drawers that you can just pull out while you're cooking.
So this is one of my favorite rooms, the kitchen. I love to host people. I think it's the place on every party where people end up like it's the kitchen. Behind me, there's a painting which is saying like, let's eat and dance. And I think it's the best thing that you can do in a kitchen. I'm always playing with words. Every time I have friends coming over, they add another nationality to this board.
The rug really is like the centerpiece that pulls the whole kitchen together and just draws you in, and it really centers and zones the room. Another very unique aspect in this home is the fact that the history was really appreciated and it wasn't tried to cover up. So for example, here we have all of these beautiful historic creaks that weren't covered up, but they're just still original and they were even enhanced.
I came up with the idea to use the kintsugi technique to make it more beautiful, like to show that there is beauty even in something that is destroyed.
Now let me show you the living room. So this is the living room. As we come in, we can see that we are just immersed in a whole entire different worlds of colors. Michael himself calls this room the cotton candy room because we just have all of these different shades of pink, and you just have, again, this very vibrant and colorful atmosphere. When designing the space, the interior designer first had this Tom Dixon chair that is held in a very soft pastel blue, as well as the pink Brühl sofa. And these two furniture pieces really were the starting point of the design, and he just created a whole world around them. And you can see that everything in this room kind of reminds you in one or another way of cotton candy, whether it's this white lamp from Grey that just imitates and mimics the shape of cotton candy and just seems like it's floating, or all of the soft and pastel colors that we have here. You were just really immersed in this incredible world. Like I already said in the kitchen, this room feels incredibly soft and just really warm. And the reason for this is because we just have these layers and layers of fabric. The whole entire floor has been covered in this lush, graphic white carpet that just adds this texture and just creates this very soft base in which you can immerse yourself in. And then again, we have all of these different round shapes that just pull you into the design story. On the one hand, this world is very feminine and very soft and plush and light, but you have, again, all of these harsher, more edgy materials that are added. A personal favorite of mine are these fishnet curtains that just have this incredible indigo blue color, and they just really pop off of this pastel soft world that we have here. You can see that the walls have also been covered with wainscoting and wall moldings, just again to create this very historical and old character. And on this side we have two historical paintings that frame the wall. The paintings themselves have been customized again, but again he got inspired by the ambient lighting that you would find in a bar. He decided to highlight the two paintings with wall sconces.
I really wanted to play in this room with color, so I made a little cotton candy world out of it. And one of my favorite things, and it's something that I highly recommend to everyone, is like have a disco ball. It just turns to magic and everything sparkles.
Another story that I love is that this vintage sofa table was actually found on the streets in St. Pauli, just 500 meters off here. So you see that great design doesn't always have to be very expensive, but you can just really mix and match what you like. Before I show you the absolutely incredible salon and the guest bedroom, let me show you the primary bedroom. Oh, also, if you haven't yet, go and subscribe right now. Come with me. This is the primary bedroom. Again, we can see that the designer just had a lot of fun when creating this space and creating his own bedroom. You can see that behind me we have a wall that is just its own little gallery. The color palette in this space is much more muted because it's really a space to wind down and calm down. So we have these very soft greens and beiges. Because we don't have that much space, there aren't a lot of things added to the room. We really just have a lush, spacious bed paired with a cupboard in the same earthy beige tones. Above the vintage cabinet, we have a lamp by Tom Dixon that really is the focal point in this room. As soon as you enter, you just can't help but look at it, and it just beautifully strays and lets the light bounce around the room. We have a historical masterpiece by Bouchet that again has been customized and has J'adore Hardcore written on it. And I just love it when you have this interplay of something very classical, but you don't take it too seriously and just create something new and just make it your own. It is again framed by a Rococo frame that is again very flamboyant. You can just see how pairing different elements together just visually creates its own perfect little story. For example, up here we have a whip that is hung up as decoration, and you can just think the rest yourself. Another really fun element that was added are these monster pillows. Now let me show you the bathroom. So this is the bathroom, and what is interesting is that formerly the bathroom didn't exist and you just had a much more bigger kitchen when the building was originally built. And today the bathroom has only around 2.5 square meters, but as soon as you come in, you can't help but feel like you're in a spa. The space has been visually enlarged by a gigantic mirror tiled wall that we have over here, so it already feels like it's double in size. As soon as you enter, you just forget that you're standing in a tight space. Another favorite of mine is the fact that the ceiling has actually been painted gold, and you just have this small chandelier that sprays light everywhere, and you just have this very lush and luxurious moment. So this is the salon that I told you about, and as you can see, we again have our completely our own color world, and you can see that the cat, for example this cat with its ginger hair, is a part of the design, and just wherever it is just visually adds a pop of color.
This is the place where another magic happens because it's kind of my office. When I work as an interior designer or as a graphic designer, whenever I do something, I want to tell a story. Designing is thinking made visible. I love to go to flea markets and to pick things that are from a different century, from a different time, and combine it with something new.
The room is framed by a big spacious carpet that has a very organic shape and that grounds you. And on top of the carpet we have two vintage, very low sofa chairs. They were sourced in Spain, And because they have a very low profile, all of the rest of the furniture items in the room, they have been lowered a little bit to just complement the low profile of these two chairs. And here you can drink a glass of wine in the evening with your friends, or again have a client meeting. Over here we have a string shelf. You can see that it is both a shelf and a working space. You have this just very compact yet very stylish solution. Because this room isn't too big, we have a gigantic mirror added that just visually enlarges the space, and that just lets the light and all of the different colors bounce around in the room. And because the interior designer has a love for typography, on top of the mirror we have written "The magic is in you." So you can see that every single piece of furniture in this apartment has been fully customized and just thoughtfully designed. Another great trick to visually enlarge a space is to take away all of the doors that you don't need. So over here we have a gigantic frame, and because the door was taken away, we just have this much grander feeling of it actually being a villa much more than being a house. And again, you can see that the room gets its atmosphere because of the beautiful colors. So we have again the wall moldings in a soft, crisp green, paired with the rest of the walls, as well as the ceilings being painted in soft pastel pink tones. Let me show you the guest room. So this is the guest room, and it's just a blessing whenever you have an extra room that you can turn into your bedroom. And the interior designer Michael decided to just create a perfect hotel-like experience for his guests. This is the bed that you get to stay in, and you can just see that again you have your whole entire different world of colors. And the entire room itself is very calm and grounding because we have these muted, dark, soft blues and greens. The interior designer has a big passion for impressionist paintings and artworks. So he decided to drape this French wallpaper all over the side of the wall, and this just visually really creates a much more interesting design. Whenever you have a tight space, people always shy away from putting big artworks there or just to really being bold with their design choices, but these are actually the spaces where you need to be the most bold, because if a lot is happening in the room, you often forget about the size of the room. So this gigantic wallpaper is the way to go. Over here we have a small golden bedside table that again reflects the light that is coming in from the window. What's actually also really interesting about this room is that behind this big cupboard we actually have a second entry doorway hiding behind it. So the question is what actually was formerly happening in this room, because this apartment actually used to have two entryways. This lamp is also a really cool invention. It is designed also by Grau, the same designers as in the living room. And it just is also a very versatile, functional lamp that you can use to read, or you can just use it to illuminate different artworks and to just create this ambient atmosphere. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely go check out Michael's interior design and his Instagram account in the description. I will link it below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe. And I will see you next week.